We are the Streamlining TAPS data team. I'm Ryan. This is UN, and we'll get started. Oh, thank you. Um, so first of all, our sponsor, who we did this for, is the University of Nebraska Testing Ag Performance Solution, or UNL TAPS. This is a program developed by the University of Nebraska-Lincoln, or University of Nebraska, that facilitates a number of interactive real-life farm management competitions. And these are low risk, so then the participants of these competitions are able to go and try different techniques and different processes and see what provides the best yield and every data points, and the TAPS team can kind of use this data to how they see fit.
Again, our sponsor is the UNL TAP. Our primary contacts are Crystal, Rose, and Jugber.
All right, and then for our team, we have the squad lead being Ryan Lindsay, which is myself. The development manager is also Ryan. The product manager is Ewan. And then we have our process specialist, who is the second year student, William Pruitt. And then we have our developers, Yikong Mo and Kai Guo. And for our project manager, we had Bill Browning, and our tribe lead was Vanan Barium.
Our problem is to streamline the collection of data from the competitions and then searching through the data. We have built a solution as a web application that allows for the creation of the competition, collection of decision data, creation of Excel file containing decision data, and searching the decision data.
All right, so now we'll go on with a little bit of a solution and how it looks. So first of all, to store all this data, we created a SQL database to store the competition data. Originally, we were doing no SQL database, but we ran into some problems with data limits, and ultimately, the SQL database was something that was the better solution in the end. And now with our solution, instead of having the Excel files that they use to store the database or the competition data being manually put in, now we're making it so then with this web app, they're able to go, the participants are able to go and input their data, but now it's being stored directly into that SQL database, and then the Excel files can be created using that data in that database. And then any new data that does get input into the database, as I said, will be submitted to that database, and then they can create that Excel file, and all the past data has been input into that database as well.
The submitted data in the database can be used to create the Excel file and the PDF. So we provide the ability to just, when you want to grab a Excel file, you can just go to the web app and then click generate it. We will generate it automatically using the data in the database. You can also download a PDF version of it.
And then for the searching is something that was very important for this project. When we started out, they just have all the data stored in Excel files and really no good solution to go and search through the data and get the different data points that they are looking for. So we created a solution where now they can go and search through a competition and then select different parameters that do what they're looking for. In this case, you can see planting was a parameter that they wanted to, in this case, search for, and they could search through the population density, the hybrid, and then get the corresponding farms that align to those parameters. And then you could see the parameters of each of those farms. So that's very important for this project, and we were happy to go and make something where they'll be able to better search through all their data.
The value we take out is we have been able to streamline the competition data and the submission. We also made the data more maintainable and accessible.
And then the highlights that we got out of this whole project in senior design this whole year we've been working, this has been a great opportunity to learn how to better communicate and work in a team-based environment, being with a group of developers and then also working with sponsors. So when you're in a traditional classroom setting, you usually have a very set guidelines. And in this case, we built this from scratch and came up with different solutions and communicated as a team and with our sponsors to go and find the best solution that worked. And ultimately, that has been very helpful and been a highlight of this project that we've been very grateful to go and learn. And then also, like I said, building a project from scratch. Um, this has been very helpful because, like I said, it's not something that is usually very accessible in traditional classroom assignments, where we were able to go and have a general list of requirements, but we were, as a team, able to go and create a project and figure out the solutions that worked to go and get that. And that's been amazing to go and learn. And then lastly, we've learned a lot about web development and database creation. The solution we created is a web app, so that just in itself, you learn a lot about web development in that case. And then also we learned a lot about database creation. Like I believe I said before, we were using a NoSQL database. So we learned a lot about that originally. And then when we transitioned to an SQL database, we kind of learned both systems. And while it was a little bit of a hindrance kind of switching between the two, it did allow us to learn a lot more about both systems and kind of the pros and cons of each one. Yeah, that's our presentation. We are the Streamlining TAPS Data Senior Design Team, and I would like to thank our sponsors. They have been so helpful in teaching us kind of the better communication skills, like I said before, and coming up with a very interesting project that we've been able to go and spend a whole year on and create a great solution for. And we thank you for that. So do we have any questions for us? So for our front end, we were using vanilla JavaScript and HTML. And then for our back end, we have a REST API built in Node. At the start of this project, we weren't 100% sure on where, I'm sorry, the question is kind of what is our tech stack for this project. So at the start, we didn't know if we were creating an entirely new site, if we were going to just be adding on to the original UNL site. So we created it as simply as possible, and we were able to go and make it in all that vanilla tech stack. Any other questions? All right, thank you.